Hey guys, this video is going to be going over simplifying expressions by combining like terms. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but now we're going to add in some more pieces. So I'm asking you guys to do the odds on both page 6 and 7. Okay, so just 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 on page 6. And then the same thing on page 7. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. All right, so those are the ones that I'm asking you guys to do in class today while I am not here. So let's go ahead and go over how to do problems like this, okay? If you already know how to do this, then you can just start your work and you don't need to watch this video. But if you are stuck, then this video is for you. All right, so our first problem is 9 minus x minus 10 plus 5x. So for this, let's go ahead and model it with our tiles. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so I have 9 ones. Now I need a negative x. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the red side to make it negative. Now I've got another negative x. And then I see that I have 10 negatives. So give me a second. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10. Let's zoom out a little bit. Here we go. Okay, so we got our 10 negative tiles. Then, last but not least, I need to add 5 positive x's. All right, so this right here, what I have represented with these tiles, is what we see in this expression. So we have 9, minus x, minus another x, minus 10, plus 5x. So at this point, we're going to look at some zero pairs to cancel out. So I'm going to put all of my x's together, and I'm going to put all of my ones together. Now I just need to look at my zero pairs. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right, now I just have a negative 1. There's nothing else that I can combine with that. So I'm done with that. But then over here on my x's, I have 5 positives and 2 negatives. So I may not know what x is, but I know that these are all the same value. So a negative and a positive is still going to make 0. And then I can do the same thing here. So I am left with 3 x's and 1 negative, which means our answer is 3x minus 1. And that is as simple as you can get. That's your answer. There's nothing else that you can do there. All right, so if we didn't do it with the tiles, okay, sorry, decided I needed a highlighter. So if we didn't do it with the tiles, first we need to identify our x's. So I see I've got a minus x, another minus x, and a 5x. Then I see that I have a 9 and a negative 10. So looking at these x's, I see I have negative 1, negative 1. So negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. And then plus 5 means that I have 3 x's total. Now, if I look at my ones, I have 9 minus 10, which means negative 1. Okay, this next one starts to get a little bit trickier because it has x squared. But remember, this is just another tile. a lot of people get confused on this and think that you need to do something with this 6 and the squared before you start combining like terms, but that's not the case. X squared is just its own term. It's its own tile. Okay, so this 6x squared has nothing else to combine it with. Okay, because these x squareds and x's are different, right? They're not the same. X and x squared are two totally different tiles, so I can't combine them and say that I have 4 x's or something like that. Okay, it's a totally different tile. So that 6x squared is going to be by itself. Then I have my x's. Where did my yellow go? There it is. So I've got a negative 8x and then a positive 3x. So negative 8 plus 3, if we think about our tiles, 3 of them would cancel out, and I would just be left with negative 5x. And then last but not least, I have a negative 2 and a positive 4. So negative 2 plus 4 is going to give us 2. And again, this is as simple as it can get. There's nothing else that we can do here because we don't know what x is. All right, now number 6 is getting even more tricky because now we're throwing in some y squareds. So again, let's highlight. Hold up, I need another color. Let's use a red marker. All right, so in this one, first let's look at our x squareds. So let's see, I've got orange, so 3x squared and a negative 5x squared. Okay, so if I have 3x squared and then I subtract 5x squared, that's the same as saying 3 minus 5. Okay, so 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So I have negative 2x squared. Okay, now let's look at the y's, or our y squareds. Excuse me. So I have 1 right here. Oh, that is very dark. Oh, well. So I have a plus 1, then I've got a minus 3, and then a minus 1. Remember, if there's no number written in front of it, we assume that it just means that there's 1. Let's see, zooming in will make this a little easier for you to see with the red. Sorry, that red, I should have done yellow. Or no, that one, whatever. Okay, anyways, so I've got y squared. So remember that means 1. So I have 1 minus 3, which is going to be at negative 2. And then minus another 1 means that I'm at negative 3. Y squared. Remember, if there's no number in front of this variable, we just assume that there's only 1. All right, now, last but not least, we need to look at our x's. Okay, I've got a plus x and another plus x, which means that all together I have 2 x's. It's a weird 2, but I promise that's a 2. All right, now let's jump on down to this number 10 here. Okay, so this one is a little bit trickier for multiple reasons. Okay, one reason being that it's not using x and y anymore. Now we're using n's and m's. But then it also has an mn, which, if you think about our notes from yesterday, an mn is the same as an xy, which just means an x times a y. Remember, that's that different tile that we had, this green one. All right, so it's okay that they're not x and y. They still combine the same way. So let's look at our ones that have both an m and an n first. So I see negative 5mn and I see a plus mn. Okay, so this is a totally separate kind of term. This is a totally separate tile. Okay, mn's are different than just m's or n's, right? Those are 3 totally different things. So we can't combine those together. So I'm just going to look at my mn's. So I have negative 5 mn plus 1 mn. So if I'm at -5 and then I add 1, I'm at -4 mn. All right, next, let's look at our just n's. Okay, I've got a 2n right there and a plus 3n right there. 2 plus 3 is 5, so I have 5 n's total. And then last but not least is this m. That's by itself without an n, just an m. And that is the only one of its kind, so we are just going to do -7m. All right, so make sure that you're getting all of the odds done on both pages 6 and 7, and then there is an exit ticket posted for you on Google Classroom. This will be checked when I come back on Thursday, so make sure that you guys are getting this done. I also asked the substitute to stamp your pages when you're done with this, so please make sure the sub knows when you are done so that you can get credit for that. All right, thanks guys, have a good day.